Good morning, Houston. This is Oscar Hines. Welcome to the Morning Edge here on Edge Radio. I am absolutely stoked, delighted, and overwhelmed to have back in the house Miss Tressa and the Enrique Chacon.
Hola,
How are you guys doing this morning? How's everything going?
Amazing. You're jazzed. So you didn't say jazz today.
Jazzed. So you know, back in the day, like I don't know if you guys remember Mr. T. Well, they used to have the A-Team back then. Yes. And one of the guys used to always say, "Let's do it for the Jazz."
Did you even see the A-Team?
We do it for the Jazz. I saw Rocky Balboa fight Mr. T. That's what I saw.
But wait a minute. Was that?
This was a TV series. This was a TV series.
See, I'm not old enough for the A-Team, but I was old enough for MASH, if you know MASH.
Oh, MASH was before the A-Team.
MASH before
You've been watching MASH and reruns.
Oh, yeah.
So now you got to find the A-Team now. And look at Mr. T.
Well, the thing was that I was a teenager. I just was graduating from high school, and it was really actually a weird time for me because I was trying to prove how big and bad I was all the time, right? You know, when you're that age and you're surging testosterone, I was a pretty good athlete. And I also, you know, thought I was pretty smart. So I was the school lead. Just think about how, you know, this can affect your self-esteem, right? So I was the school lead in the high school play. So I was the man, right? and then on top of that, I was the number 2 chair in the jazz band. So I'm a saxophone player. Okay. And then so my ego was surging, and I kept on, let's do it for the Jazz. Let's do it for. So we decided, a group of friends, when we graduated, we were going to stay up for as long as we could stay up. And the last man that falls wins. And I was talking smack from the jump, right? So I kept on, let's do it for the Jazz. So now we're off. It's summertime. We have our cars. We go down to, this is all in New York. We go down to Orchard Beach. We go to a place called Action Park, where in New Jersey, where you're taking these incredible, self-guided rides and all this stuff. And so going into the second day, we were still hanging because we were going out to clubs. In New York, clubs don't close, you know. So you pretty much, you're coming out at 5 a.m. if you want, and then we'd go eat breakfast and start again. Man, so by the third day, everybody's passing out, and I'm hanging on, and it's me and a couple of stragglers, and have you all ever been so sleep deprived that you start seeing hallucinations? Yeah. Like real hallucinations?
Yeah. No, it's been a long time, but yes. Because I goes to sleep. I don't go to sleep. I goes to sleep with an S on the end. I don't play with my sleep. I was sleeping 9:30 yesterday.
Yeah, you had your machismo.
Yeah, I was young and dumb and full of
for the beta.
Yabba dabba do.
I'm gonna be alpha. I don't need a blink of sleep.
Right. Exactly.
I don't need to rest.
Exactly.
My brain don't need to work.
Exactly.
I can just stay up as long as possible.
I was absolutely balls to the wall. Do it for the Jazz.
So you went through a whole adventure. You went through a whole adventure in the Western, like all of America, kind of like Lewis and Clark, but except you're dropping testosterone every other stop sign. Like you went.
I saw a purple elephant. I literally saw a purple elephant,
and then
I passed. No, I was not high. I was absolutely sober, but I saw the elephant. I then passed out, and I did that a few other times. One, probably the most embarrassing, and then it was weird because I had driven all night. I drove from Florida, and I pride myself on being like a sentinel. If I'm at the wheel, I won't fall asleep, right? So I had to get the family back. I got them back safely, and then I crash. I hadn't slept in 2 days. And so it's about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and my phone rings and startles me out of sleep. And, you know, I was part of like a faith-based community, and, you know, there was a big wedding that weekend. And so the phone rings, and, you know, it's this one of our friends that we knew, and she goes, "Hi, Oscar. And I'm like, hello? Like, I'm out, right? And you're in a theta brainwave state. Your conscious and subconscious minds are connected when you first wake up. So you are connected to your conscious thoughts, your subconscious thoughts, I should say. And she says to me, are you coming to Amy's wedding? I'm using names are being made up to protect the innocent. Are you going to Amy's wedding later? And I said, yeah, no, I just got back in from Florida, but I plan to go. I mean, I don't know. They're getting married just to have sex. I mean, because really the fact is that they don't really have
They're
that
both
much
virgins.
in common.
And this is what you were saying.
Yeah. And I literally said, but I'll support you guys.
Oscar, you're in a three-way.
Yeah. Well, what was crazy was I said all of that, and then there was dead silence, and I started falling asleep again. And she said, "Hello," and I went, "Oh my God!" I just said that out loud.
Yes.
And it was horrifying. I never want to be in that state again.
Yeah, that's
subconscious. You believe in dreams? Do you believe? So there's this old Hispanic folktale. You can say a folktale. You can say it's like a lore. Because I know in the black community, if you dream about a fish, that somebody in the house is pregnant, right? But in El Salvador, if you dream that your teeth are falling out, right? Like teeth after teeth, that means that somebody's gonna die. So like all these little old ladies, if they dream that, they go to church the next day and they start what they do fasting. So they stay at church all day until like so this is where I'm relating your insomnia to, like they're doing it because they're afraid of their life, not because they're trying to be alpha, right? But these little old ladies stay at church for like 4 days.
So they think they're gonna die?
They think somebody's gonna die, right?
So close to them.
So they know if they go to church and they fast and they stay up, right, and stay praying for like a day or two, then the Lord is gonna have mercy, right, on them. Yeah. And that's how little El Salvadoran ladies stay up all day, and then when they come back,
because they try to
little El Salvadorian ladies.
Yeah, they're not trying to die.
They're like little papusas, those little ladies.
Oh my God! Yeah, you can say the little papusas. Yeah.
These two, I swear.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Well, so do you? There's a story here, as always. I feel like I am the old. What am I thinking, right? Okay, so people know I'm full of something. I am full of information, and what a great way to share it with this awesome audience. So the question first, though, you both believe in the power of prayer. Do you believe in the power of prayer?
It helps.
I do. I believe in the power of prayer, but more so meditating after you pray. Because once you pray, that should be it. If you believe it, that should be it. Now you have to meditate on the actual prayer. Okay. And believe it. But sure, yes, okay. I do. I believe in the power of the mind in general.
Is there, in you guys' opinion, is there any science that could scientifically prove prayer?
Partly placebo. That is like the only fact that I know. Because if you really believe that, oh Lord, I didn't study, let me get 100 on this test, right? And you believe you're gonna get 100, most of the times, like I don't know, like kind of like bypass that like mental block that you have in your brain, and you get 100 on that test, which I've done a few times.
So how does that happen?
Yeah, how does that happen? Well, you have to have that belief, and you also have to have that fear of God.
Okay, fear of God. Where did that come into?
Where did that come? What just happened? This is like years of trauma, Oscar, that you're trying to break up. So the fear of God comes when you're a little child, and a lot of churches are like this, right? A lot of churches, Hispanic churches, they're intense. Because when you go to church and you're Hispanic, you see some ladies and they start like feeling the Holy Spirit, and they're like, "Oh, sí, Dios, oh!" And then they're like moaning, and then
Gloria a Dios,
Gloria a Dios. The thing, and then I'm like 8, and I'm like, these
crazy.
Now, see, if you were black, you would say they done lost their mind. They acting crazy.
They lost their mind. They tripping. You know, somebody giving them some milk. You know,
some milk.
Yeah. So
you know what, Enrique? I am not trying to understand.
Look,
give me some milk.
And then like one day, like my mother, right? She caught the Holy Spirit one day, right? And she started talking in tongues, and I never heard her say. To this day, she was going. Rava Rava Seve Seve Straight, and then she kept repeating that Rava Rava Seve Seve, and I was so afraid, you know. Wow. I was hiding behind it. It was like one of these fasts.
You were traumatized.
Yeah, and then they were making me stay up. They giving me coffee, right? Yeah, that's why I'm so short. That's why I'm 5'7".
You said they were giving you coffee.
Yeah, they were giving me coffee to stay. I'm like, look, I'm not the one that had the dream, you know.
Oh my God.
My mom is a minister, and she would sometimes speak in tongues in her sleep, and I just look. I recorded her one time. It was funny, and all I heard was. I don't know what was going on, what demons she was fighting, but she was fighting demons in her sleep.
So okay, well you guys all right. So what I try to do, you just took me completely off track now. But I still have to share this with you because I think listeners need an education on this, and you may or may not have heard this, right?
You were talking about science.
I was going to talk about the science. But let me go
firsthand.
But let me go biblical for a moment.
Go ahead.
In the book of Acts, which is where during Pentecost 70 CE, the people saw flames that were like tongues that appeared, and it said that they began speaking in tongues. Mm-hmm. Now, the Hebrew rendering of tongues was not in an unintelligible language. Mm-hmm. It was in fact different, because if you read in that scripture, you will see it's, I believe, in Acts chapter 2, and it says, and they began speaking in tongues. The Chaldeans spoke in Chaldean, the Egyptians spoke in Egyptian, the Greeks spoke in Greek, and each was speaking in their own tongues. And so they were endowed by the Holy Spirit to go out and preach to all the nations because they were able to speak in their tongues. And that started the ministry 70 years after Jesus was born and after his death. So this idea that, it's some unintelligible language is unfortunately a bunch of hooey.
So what was my mom saying?
The devil said, no. Forgive me, folks. Yeah. And because we're talking about a sensitive subject.
No, right.
People get impassioned when they're in a space, and there's certain words that have vibrational frequencies. We know that words have vibrational frequencies. If we go to the science and you're going brrr, brrr, or if you go home.
Yeah, feels good.
If all of us, I'm not sure how this is going to sound on radio, but try to match my harmony for a moment.
Go ahead. Not too loud.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, right inside of there, because I'm hearing it in the headphones. Right. And folks, I don't know if you could hear this, but if two or more people harmonize, you hear like a warping of sound, and it'll move back and forth. That's a sound modulation, and we're attuned. Our brain waves are attuned. So your mother was in a state of ecstasy. She was in a state of vibrational elevation, and whether you believe her truth or not is irrelevant, because she believes her truth.
It's true to her.
And correct. And see, that's where I think most of society's got it wrong, because we should simply practice the law of allowing. If we just allow, if I allow you to speak in tongues because that's what you want to do, but I think that's wrong, instead of me saying that's a satanic practice, and then now you hate me because now you think I'm telling you worship Satan.
You set humanity back.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Why can't we all just get
Just
along?
get along. Gosh, just get along.
So that's the biblical allegory,
Right.
and that
I
to me
see.
is also the science
I
of,
see the
of speaking
science.
in
So,
tongues.
Right.
but
right,
the whole question, right? So when I gave you this story, prayer, does it work for you? And one of the checklists that you have to check off is the fear of God with prayer. So if you know God, then if you have, according from what I know, like a Christian El Salvadoran boy here, right? They told me you had to be afraid of God. He's the one person that you have to be
Fear.
afraid of, right? Because he is the all holy, powerful. He can judge you. He can give you miracles or whatnot, right? So when I was younger, I was asking questions, and it just came to my mind like, okay, so if God made the world, the oceans, and light, then who made God? And I kept asking these questions as a little 7-year-old kid, right? And my mom, when I came up to her and I told her that, she was shocked. She was shooketh.
She was shooketh.
She was shooketh.
She was shooketh.
She was just like,
shooketh
who
to
you
her
been talking to?
foundation.
Who have you been talking to? Are you talking to your alcoholic aunt again? Who are you talking to? Right. And to be honest, I don't know who told me. I think me and my brothers were talking.
Yeah.
Like my brother, he's like 1 year apart from me, right? And he's always been like that musician. He's always been that weird kid, right? So he was telling me, who made God? You know who made God? I'm like, I don't know who made God.
But see, the sad thing is that at that time, that's a teaching opportunity for a child. That's when a parent says, and because my kids asked the same question, and I blew their minds, and I still, like, as adults, I'll bring it up sometimes. So I said, so what does it mean to be eternal? And they say, I don't know. And of course, it means that you never had a beginning and you'll never have an end.
I would have said you ever been to Cece's Pizza? You see that line buffet right there with the pasta and the ham cheese pizza?
They will keep bringing that out
That's
until you
eternal,
become a big,
Until you die.
until you die.
Yeah.
That's right. So I think there's a lot to unpack when kids ask a question like that. And to me, the best form of parenting is to keep asking questions and let them reason. But at the end of the day, I said the Creator never had a beginning, but He got joy from creating other things. So He created you. And think about when you smell the flowers and when you feel the wind in your face and when you laugh because, we're tickling you. Those are all things that are gifts that God gave you so you can enjoy it.
Right.
And of course, later on, when they see the meanness that's in the world, they're like, why did God want that too?
Yeah. Who made this? Why is this? So,
they allowed
okay,
to
so
have
that's
that
what
and
you're supposed to say to a child, right? Or, just something truthful. But instead, my mother and like the pastor or whatever, we got together one day, right? Because I just had this burning question, right? And I couldn't see any. This is all I was thinking of. I was obsessed with finding out, like, I couldn't sleep. This is one of the situations where religion started becoming less of a peaceful thing.
And how old are you?
Man, I'm like 11 or 12 now.
Okay.
Like, religion is becoming less of a peaceful thing.
You are in turmoil. This is a man in search of God.
Yeah. I'm not at peace. I'm at the house. I'm afraid. You
got little old ladies with no teeth running around.
I have my little old grandma like, you want some food? Just get your mind off things, And I would eat. I would gain weight. And we went to church finally on Sunday. And this is what they told me, Oscar. They were like, okay, if you keep thinking about who made God, you're going to go crazy. And I was like, well, I'm about to go crazy because I'm not going to stop thinking about this. And then my mother, she told me a Bible passage. She was just like, God was the Alpha and the Omega. He was the wind and the waves, or some spark notes on how the thing went. And I was like,
Spark notes.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what any of that means. What does that mean, right? So for like the longest, I was just afraid of religion. Like you couldn't take me to a church, because I was afraid of going crazy. Yeah, I was afraid of going crazy.
You were afraid of God too.
Yeah, I was afraid of God.
Anytime, so yesterday you had on a beautiful necklace, Tressa, and it reminded me with your beauty of that the mother goddess, right? Okay. Because so in the African tradition, what is and how does that mother goddess reflect itself in that nurturing and raising of kids?
How does it reflect that? I mean, Africa is looked at as being the first birthplace of everyone, and where it began, in general. And so, and that was the Ethiopian colors actually that I was wearing yesterday. Some people think it's all of Africa, but it was Ethiopian. But just in general, it is just. I guess what was I trying to go with that?
So from Ethiopia, and you're thinking the maternal,
the maternal, the
what was your mother like?
The nurturing, nurturing. I consider myself a nurturer, a protector. In general, that's just kind of what it portrays. For me in general, but that may not be what you mean.
No. I Black women are arguably the strongest women on the planet, and I can say that unequivocally because ancient Mesopotamia was the cradle of civilization. The Euphrates and Tigris rivers is purported to be where the Garden of Eden was. And it also is one of the most magnificent archaeological landscapes in the world. And the African woman, going back to antiquity, is represented in statues and represented in images, and always as a nurturing, loving energy. See, I think religiously, people have really been flawed in this respect. We say God is this powerful man.
Man, yeah.
Why is it a man?
Right. See, God created man and woman. That means that there is a feminine and masculine energy. And those two energies align to create balance. In a child's life, it creates balance.
Right.
I was a hell of a father, but I was an okay mother. But if I had a mother that was in my kid's life all the time, that was a dynamic mother, damn, I would have built even better kids.
Right.
I'm proud of who they are, don't get me wrong, but man, if you could tag team those little suckers, man, you could create some amazing beings.
A strong mother, a strong father, get both perspectives on what you see fit as a man. And for example, this is what my mother told me, because I didn't have a father growing up. She told me, I don't need testicles to be your dad. I could be your father and your mother. Like she was telling me that she wanted to be like that strong woman, right? And I think me not having a father was half a good thing, because I didn't have that overly father figure, a protective figure to influence my own ideas, right? And I'm grateful for that, but also not having a father. How do you dress? How do you put on a tie, right? Sure. How are you supposed to act in front of other powerful, other powerful alpha males?
Absolutely.
How do you hold yourself in a room full of intimidating people? Should I look away? What are the proper gestures and mannerisms, stuff like that? So when you're saying if you had a strong mother, then your sons could see what a whole woman or like a proper lady is supposed to look like. In their eyes. But
well, it's a great observation, and your experience, everybody's experience is unique to them.
Right. Yeah.
I was very, very fortunate to have my mother and father in my life. My father was a hardworking guy, and he liked drinking, but only in the evening. Once he finished, he built a business. So he was very functional and had a great affable personality, would laugh, and he was a hell of a storyteller.
Right.
And all of us, my brothers and sisters, are effective storytellers, because my dad would weave a tale, and you'd be like, "Damn!" That he had a little kind of, he spoke fluent Spanish.
Yeah.
But he had a Jamaican accent. You know, his birthday will be in July, and he would just tell us silly stuff. But one time he's like, you know, we're little kids, and he says, "You know what happened one time?" He said, "I was in Costa Rica and I was walking in the bush, and it was the jungle, and I see a little monkey. So I take a stick and I start to poke the monkey. And you know that little monkey look at me and him say, 'Aye, you're chicken me in my balls.'"
What a
And then he would
good
start laughing. And I'd say, the monkey spoke to you and said, "You were sticking me in my balls." And he was like, "It did. I swear to God, it did."
God.
He was so emphatic.
He's so adamant about
oh my
it. You
God.
believed it.
You were like, "Okay, I've never
yes,
seen a
that's
talking monkey." I
Hey,
said,
that wasn't a monkey.
since then, I've been looking for a monkey to poke in the balls.
Yeah.
But parents have a tremendous influence, but there were all these little silly moments, and I was blessed and privileged to watch him in his furniture store, and you know. So anyway, I love that. I think there's a balance that has to happen, and unfortunately, because there's so many families that end in divorce, you lose some of that. You know, you lose some of that.
Definitely.
And that's just it. So guys, we dived deep fast, man.
No, it is.
You know,
We went in the whole-
this morning's show is supposed to be about having some fun.
This is fun. What you mean? We're poking monkeys in the balls.
Morning
This is
show.
fun.
So those that are watching, don't think that you
No.
done turned specifically just
This is not just a
Christian
morning
radio. We talk about everything, and then
Yeah, well, they look at my ass. They can't think I'm some kind of holy roller. I just happen to know the Bible. You know,
You look
that's
like
why.
a spiritual
Right?
healer.
Do I look like a
I think you
spiritual
just happen to
healer?
know everything.
Oh no,
I think you just
won't
know a
claim-
little bit about some of everything.
That's what I hope. Yeah. But I can't say. But I had that conversation with my kids years ago. Be a generalist. I mean, a generalist knows something about everything, but not everything about anything.
Right.
But of course, the problem is a specialist. Like if you're a surgeon,
Right.
you
That's what you
are.
know.
Oh my gosh!
Expert.
And
You'll
you'll be making bacon.
That's
You know, generalists can be some poor mothers. So you got to also have some areas. of
Generalists are the
specialization.
hustlers. They're the ones that know a little bit. Yeah, but like you were saying though, I think it's good to be a specialist sometimes. Partly because if you're a generalist, of course, people will see you as very intelligent or articulate. I think if you're a specialist, then you could be the greatest of all time at something. And you know what I noticed? Like even as a kid without a father, legacy is very important to me. Just growing up, like
What does that mean, legacy?
legacy, somebody remembering your name in the history books. You want to be remembered, and that almost became my religion instead of like believing in an afterlife. You know, as long as you leave your mark on the world, then you'll be at peace with the eternal sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. This little cat right here is deep,
22
man.
years old.
And look, when you start thinking about legacy in your 20s,
Right.
that speaks to a higher calling, my friend. And what I think has to happen with that is that you feed into the belly of the beast. You've heard this analogy, and if you haven't, it's real simple. Everyone has the idea of two wolves. You remember that one?
Yeah, you feed the good wolf and you feed the bad wolf. Yeah.
Exactly. So
And
which
which
one
wolf?
wins, right?
Yeah. Who do you feed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we get to a place of self-doubt where we question what our legacy is, then we can lose our way. But if we become crystal clear on what that legacy is, then you start to affect the universe. The material circumstances shift. People meet. Next
Right.
thing you know, you're on a radio show. And next thing you know, somebody's calling you that was supposed to call you. And now all of a sudden you're on an airplane and you're flying to Los Angeles. And we have to take a break. So
we
while
do.
Enrique continues to fantasize, You're listening to the Edge Radio Network, 1540 AM, 101.7 FM. We'll be back in just a moment on the Edge Morning Show.
Edge Radio Network, where we have conscious conversation.
Edge is about love, relationships, and healing.
Edge Radio is for everyone and about everyone.
Edge is about working together.
Edge Radio is about recreating a beautiful body.
Edge is about community, synergy, and empowerment.
Edge is about being kind, compassionate, and loving to all.
Edge Radio is about beauty and fashion.
各位观众 ，Edge Radio 是大家最好听的一个电台，不要忘记听哦。Yeah, I love Edge Radio. You can hear all about the topic and join us soon.
Edge is about being on the edge and not jumping. Yes.
When people stop talking to each other, society is on the edge.
And we are back on the new Edge Radio Network, 1540 AM, 101.7 FM. We are enjoying a relative calm. I understand there's going to be some more bad weather coming through, particularly later this afternoon and tomorrow. Yesterday was wild. We were in studio in the middle of a conversation. The skies were black. It looked like it was about 9 p.m. at night. Lightning struck, and then we lost power.
Apocalyptic.
we lost power. We were in the middle of How You Livin' with Robin B., and she was priceless. You know, she and I have been friends for a long time, and she had this reaction when that lightning struck that I was hoping that the cameras caught, because I was going to razz her about it for the rest of her life.
It was like a cat when you throw water to a cat, you know, they're in the balcony and you can't sleep, you throw water, the cat goes,
yeah. She seized up. Oh my God. That was funny. She had me cracking up. So Tressa, you and I were talking just before we got on air, and there's this big question that looms, right? And women ask this question, I think statistically, more than any other relationship question that they would ask. Now, audience, what do you think that is? If you want to jump in on this conversation, 281-587-1540 is the number. That's 281-587-1540.
Please call
So what is this big looming question?
The big question is, why do men cheat?
Boom. Okay.
Did you see? I must have felt something.
I don't know.
Move the whole table. Because I'm passionate about this subject.
Wow.
Why do men cheat?
Now, you know, as a black woman, you know, we all always see all these memes. You know, black men don't cheat. That's the newest thing. Black men don't cheat. And so Jerry Debo Smith is a comedian in San Antonio, and he has his reasons of why men cheat. So I'm going to paraphrase it. You can follow Jerry Debo Smith yourself and actually see what it was. But he gave about 5 or 6 reasons. Okay. The first one is he said, you know, we're not your kids, so act accordingly. You can't make a man do S he don't want to do. It might work for a minute, but after the coochie is dead, then it's over. Number 2, cooking and cleaning. Men already learned that, so stop thinking that we can, that our cooking and cleaning is gonna help you with that. We don't need y'all for that. Number 3, STFU. Sometimes, do you know what that stands for?
STFU.
Shut the F up.
Okay.
Shut the F up sometimes. In other words, stop talking back. Just saying anything. Wow. The next one is stop using sex as a weapon. Like you the only one with the ammo. The man that wants some sex, let's see, what do you say? Who care if you tired? We do most of the work anyway. You tired, put your head on the pillow and put that booty in the air.
Wow.
It ain't gonna take but a minute.
Wow.
Now this is the one that really trips me out that I see a lot that men say is stop going after a certain type of guy. Switch it up. Go after men that like you, that you feel don't deserve you, because honestly, those are the ones that you will have the greatest success with because they will worship you and appreciate you. Stop lusting over looks, money, and status. Then he says, give up the coochie early. I know that sounds crazy, but once you get a man's lust out of the way, then you know what you're dealing with. Because after sex, ladies, all your bargaining chips are gone. You will learn a lot after that is out the way. Trust me.
Wow.
Okay? But hey, what do I know? I'm just a real N-word that has ran through most of my friends' list. Man. Also, he said, P.S. Get a fat dude. They pay bills and eat coochie.
Hey, thick.
That's Jerry Debo Smith, comedian Jerry Debo Smith. He's super funny from San Antonio. That's his take on it. Okay.
What's your take on it?
Wow.
Look, I agree with
I want to know 2
things.
Stories, firsthand experiences.
I agree with 2 things out of that. You cannot try to or attempt to emasculate a man and talk to him any old kind of way and assume that relationship is going to go well. Now, I don't believe in cheating at all. If you're unhappy, just leave. There's no really excuse for that. Just go ahead and just leave. But, however, you could have someone that I call it weak that will take that type of thing that you're doing and use that as a reason to talk to another woman. Again, just leave the girl. Okay? If you ain't happy, just leave. The other thing I agree with is well, actually, no, it was the same thing. It was the shut the F up sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, you have to learn to just kind of, be a listener. Sometimes the man doesn't necessarily want your opinion on certain things, So those are really like the only type of things that I agree with. Yeah. I absolutely am
being a
listener.
So ladies, who's agreeing with that that's watching us
a lot of ladies
give us a call at 281-587-1540. Or maybe you disagree.
Yeah, I don't agree with any of the rest of that.
281-587-1540.
I don't agree with any of the rest of that.
Give up the coochie early.
Giving it up early, that just depends on the man. It just depends on the man. If a man is going to cheat, he's going to cheat until he decides not to.
Hypothetically speaking, if I was single, if a girl gave me the coochie the first week, that's super early, right? Like the first week. It's like, yo, am I at a welfare line? Because they're giving out handouts up in here. You know what I mean? Like, what, maybe a month? I mean, that's all right. You're hanging out with somebody for a month. You're kissing her on the cheek or whatever. You're building that sexual energy, and it has to go somewhere, right? Yeah.
So have you guys ever heard of a sapophile?
No, a sapophile.
Sapophile.
No.
Some people pronounce it sapiophile.
Sapio.
Like the human,
but it's technically
sapiosexual. I know.
Sapiosexual, right?
Yeah.
It's a similar. Yeah. This idea that somebody is attracted to you mentally. Intellectually, emotionally, and then that precipitates a sexual dynamic. When people are younger and their bodies are just hormonally charged, they'll tend to have more promiscuity in that time frame.
Right.
And then you realize as you get older that if you really have a connection to somebody, it's a whole different level of experience.
Physical of lust. Well, not even lust, but there's
said of
some
lust.
lust. There's some mixture.
There
There's like
needs to
cake
be
batter.
there needs to be some lust. Listen, so here's the deal, and I will say this, Tressa, in response to what you just read.
Right.
A lot of that sounds misogynistic to me.
It was.
Get look at you, Tressa, bring it.
This guy's like, y'all need to shut the hell up. It's like the guy that's saying, you know, what do you tell a woman? Give it up.
Yeah.
We can cook. You ain't got nothing for me.
Right.
You want to find somebody who's your friend.
Yeah.
You want to find somebody who you understand. We know men like sex. Women like sex. But women are ovens and men are microwaves.
Right.
Men want to go bam, just like that. Boom. We get And woman needs to be finessed and warmed up. If a man learns the art of seduction and he can apply it on a consistent basis inside of a relationship, a woman will give him whatever he wants.
Right.
I feel you.
And I mean, I'm just saying that I know I have friends who, on a regular basis, talk down to men all the time. But again, I'm going to keep saying that's no reason to cheat. That means that if you're unhappy with the way the woman is speaking to you, then you need to talk about it, or you need to leave her alone because she's not going to change how she's speaking to you. It's still not a reason to actually cheat.
See,
There's
men,
no reason to cheat.
men have one fundamental need that's inherent in their personality and their makeup, and it's biblical as well. But men need to feel respected.
Yeah.
If a woman is disrespecting a man, the man is going to hold back love. That's Galatians 7:21. So we have needs, and once you sit down with somebody, assuming that you are speaking to, and this is my, maybe I'm naive in this context, right? But my ultimate connection is somebody who is a cognizant, sentient, self-actualized being that I can look in the eye and I can say, this is what I need to feel respected. Now tell me what you need to feel loved.
Right.
And when you tell me that and I honor it,
Right.
and when I tell you what I need and you honor it, we should not have problems.
Shouldn't be a problem.
We should not have problems.
It should be a problem. And I think what he was saying, what Jerry was saying, it started out, talking about how women get played. Not just cheated on, but played in general, as well as cheated on because, we're going after guys that, have options and things like that. Like I'm going to always go after men. Well, actually, first of all, I don't go after men at all. But
you got to call him?
We got to call
That's
him. Probably Jerry calling in. Is that Jerry calling in?
Let's bring him on the line.
Is Jerry going to be able to hear all of us?
Yeah.
I believe
so. Hey,
so.
good morning. You're on the air.
Hey.
What's up, Jerry?
Hello, can you hear us?
Jerry, it's not time to be shy now, Jerry. What?
All right.
Is it coming?
Yeah. That top. Yeah. Hey, we might have lost him. Jerry, can you hear us? I don't know if it's Jerry. You guys call him Jerry. All right. Well, we're gonna ask him to
call in again.
Give us a call back if
give us a second call. We really want to know if Jerry's list.
So what were you just saying?
Yeah.
So I was saying, Tressa, on your experience, I like that you're establishing like your boundaries. That's what it sounds like to me. What do you need to feel loved? What do I need to feel loved? Okay, let's honor these. If we both break these, then the contract is broken, and I'm gonna leave, and I'll tell you about it. I'll communicate to you that I'm unhappy and I'm leaving, because a lot of people, and this is what's wrong with the world nowadays, you get ghosted.
Right.
So Oscar, you say, hypothetically speaking, say you met Tressa's cousin and you getting along, right? And you guys are together for a year, right? But then Tressa's cousin tells you, hey, I'm unhappy that you're always salsa dancing with somebody here.
Yeah.
I'm jealous and I'm not gonna have that. And she, instead of telling you that, she just ghosts you. She just leaves you on red. You never see her again.
Yeah. That's a lack of maturity. That's a lack of maturity. And if somebody is what I call self-actualized, that means that they have a self-awareness and a sense of security that wouldn't lead them down that path. Right. So that would be an inherent flaw in our relationship that I think would prevent us from really making the kind of progress that we'd want to make.
Right on.
Let's see if we can get our caller back on the air. Good morning. You're on the air on the Edge Morning Radio Show.
Still don't hear nothing.
Okay. Can you hear us? All right. Not sure. Are we going through desktop? I'm not sure if there's any other settings that I would think, but okay. Well,
let them call your phone.
Yeah, I'm just sorry that. Well, actually, they can if in fact it's somebody that you guys know. You put it on. Put it on. Call them directly.
Call him.
And then what'll happen is you just put it on speaker and put it up there, and we will be able to get through. And then we'll check
So we just do that.
We'll check and see what's going on there.
Right.
But you know, so here's the deal. I really feel like this conversation of love and respect is the most important conversation a couple can have if they want to be a couple.
Yeah.
Right.
If they don't, and a woman is like, hey man, you know how to bring it in the bedroom, and you make me laugh, and you're a lot of fun, and I like hanging out with you, and you know how to cook, whatever.
Right.
Then you're two grown folks, and you have the right and choice to make that decision. So that would be the key. So I would say that we make sure that we go through that, and then that's a win. So what we'll do is go ahead and go on speaker, put it right up to the mic, and let's hear what our caller has to say.
Hey Jerry, what's happening?
Hey, how y'all doing? Can y'all hear me now?
We can hear you fine, Jerry. Sorry about that technical difficulty. Go ahead, sir.
How y'all doing?
We good.
Oh, pretty good.
Good. Give us your perspective on your posts.
All right, well, as far as my perspective goes, actually that post is from last year. I just copied and pasted it this year. But when it comes to like a lot of the stuff that I was saying, it's coming from a man's point of view. A lot of stuff that actual man, you know what I'm saying, won't say out loud to a female, because a lot of times we be feeling like we hurt your feelings, or we taking away our bargaining chips to get what we want from a female. You know what I'm saying? Like let's explain the one I want to explain the most is the one that you didn't agree with, the one about the bargaining chips and giving up sex early.
Right.
I'm gonna use an example. And don't get offended by the example, because I'm sitting right next to my girl right now.
Hey, I would feel good if she had a baseball bat right now.
Tressa, my thing with you was more, it was a lustful thing. I was like, damn, she fine, she this, that, and the third. Now, if after we had sex or anything, maybe my whole way of thinking would have been like, she talked too much. She's black power female when it comes to men. She's scary. I'm gonna get the fuck away from here. Or I like this shit. Or I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay with her. I'm sorry for cursing.
Yeah, I was gonna say we are on live broadcast.
Yeah, we're live.
I can see now because my haze is gone. A lot of men not gonna admit the fact that when we first meet y'all, it has nothing to do with y'all minds.
Right.
Oh man.
The mind part out the way. I mean, the sex part out the way. We can start seeing your mind. And that's why
know how they are in San Antonio.
This girl is dumb, or this girl is not about life, or this girl is not about trying to prosper. So I'm gone. Or she got my back, so I'm gonna stay with her. You know, there's a lot of stuff when it comes to that part. You know what I'm saying? As far as the bargaining chips. I mean, it sounds rough the way I say it, but the thing about the world nowadays, we don't need we need rough. Everybody needs to know the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's a lot of women that's right now that's 50 years old on Facebook that's complaining about they can't find a man. Why is that?
But you know what? At the same time, though, I have talked to. I mean, I'm as a woman, as a comedian, I'm always around men all the time, and so I have had men to say that because the woman gave it up early, they completely were just not interested anymore. Yep. It just something went out with the orgasm. Like immediately, as soon as the orgasm happened, just the desire to even be like to immediately want to leave. Like as soon as you take off the condom, and so we get it in both sides, but really it comes down to me, I feel like getting to know people, because I don't want to add to my body count because I'm going to give it up early every single time because I'm attracted to the dude. Because some men are a-holes, period. They're narcissistic. They are psychopathic. They get this fun out of, and I said that on your post, that a lot of men just cheat because it's fun. There really isn't nothing behind it. It's not me. It's not her. It's not because I look this way or don't look this way. They just like doing it. So I want to try to see if I can figure that out before giving up the draws, as opposed to just immediately doing it.
But that's the thing, and I'm gonna speak on my experiences. You would never really figure that out before you give up the draws.
Get him, Jerry. No, I'm just playing.
Be a Mr. Nice Guy for a whole year. Before I get the sex. As soon as I get it, I'll be out the door because maybe that's all that he wanted. But it goes both ways.
Yeah.
It's like you just said when you said you look at a guy and you say you think he's sexy and you want him, but you don't know it. You will never know how he truly feels about you until after that's done.
Until after it's done.
You even proved it when you said that some of them, as soon as the condom come off, they gone.
Well, I mean, hey, I want to talk about me now, okay? I want to talk about me. Right. I'm just saying, like, some of my friends that they have said that, you know.
I'm like, cause like even like they'll like you. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll play the game all the way up until, like I said, I could wait a whole year. I could be super Mr. Nice Guy for a whole year and
so
this Oscar-winning actor
not doing the things the way they want it to be done.
So
you can't be an a-hole and get the same. You can't something wrong with that girl.
So let me. So Jerry.
got a question for you.
So let me delve in. No, he should be able to hear.
Okay.
Let me delve in. So based on what you're saying, is it the idea of waiting that year if you have to? Is it all about the pursuit? Is it about the thrill of the kill? What would keep you hanging around after 6 months if she didn't give it up?
Well, me personally, I'm not waiting 6 months. but I'm just saying, like, a man, if they truly want a female, if they truly want, like, left world female, like her body, everything that's about her that they see on Facebook, they'll wait as long as they have to wait.
Right.
To get what they need to get from somebody. It's true. I'm gonna be real. My girl sitting next to me right now. I wanted her 7 years ago. But once we had sex and once we got together and we had sex, she's been stuck to me like glue ever since because that's the girl that I wanted.
Right.
Because her content of her character and just her drive and everything else about her made me want to stop. Because if you know me, Tristan, the last 2 years I've been going ham on Facebook. This type of stuff that I've been saying.
Yeah,
but
I know.
I had a girlfriend for the last 4 or 5 months, and none of that. I don't do none of that.
I was really surprised. I was surprised at the post because you had a girl, and then I was thinking, like, look at him. He's just saying this because he got somebody already. So now he can just say whatever he wants. You know.
I decided to share it again for all the women that still be complaining about that game.
But you know what? Let me say this too. Just like you said I'm gonna be real because I don't want anybody to misunderstand me. I'm not waiting 6 months either. You better set it out. But at the same time, it's my discernment. It's me feeling comfortable with the person and me wanting to be that intimate with someone.
So do you know that Steve Harvey says that you should wait 90 days?
I have a joke.
That's to think
about
like
that.
a man, act like a woman.
Yes, I have a joke about that. But and I guess that's also just because I do want to wait until you say something stupid. If a man says something stupid to me, I usually in about 3 weeks, the real person is gonna come out. 3 weeks, so I could totally be turned off, and I am the kind of person that I just stop talking to you. I am either hot or cold. There's no middle with Tressa at all. Either we're gonna talk or you're gonna say something stupid, and I'm never gonna speak to you again. So I want to wait a minute because I want to determine if I'm gonna be that turned off to where you ain't gonna get it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just think but I agree with you that especially a true narcissist or a psychopath, they can be nice for a long time and totally show you a different person.
Well, but part of the argument there, and I would say this, Jerry, with your girlfriend, and I don't know if she'll agree with this, but part of the thing is you said you waited 7 years. Right. So in other words, you got a chance to really know who she was, her character, her beauty, her flaws, and that after you all connected romantically, that kept you together. Is that accurate?
See, you had to wait. She didn't let you have it. You know what I'm saying? So
when I say I waited 7 years is because she was in a 12-year relationship that way, and when they broke up, where I was able to, talk to her and find out, like, damn, I thought y'all was gonna be forever. That's exactly what I told her. I said, man, I thought y'all was gonna be forever because the type of girl we worked together. And I was like, she was a good girl. She never spoke to dudes. dudes. She never like was talking to other guys. And I can't lie, I was infatuated in the background, but you can't do nothing if I'm the type of dude. I mean, I talk all that trash on Facebook, but if you got a boyfriend or a husband, I don't want you.
Right.
Amen. Amen.
Right. Absolutely. I still left and be like, damn, she's fine. I want her. And the she would tell she's loyal because she's ignoring every guy in the building like they're not even there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So like, but when they broke up, I went to talk to her. We talked, and we got to know each other during this pandemic, and we literally spent the last like 4 or 5 months.
Little pandemic,
right? Like since February all the way to now.
Okay.
And we decided to be in a relationship in April, and ever since then, everything's been great. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
Because I mean, I waited that long, and I was like, I really truly found the person that I wanted, and I got the person that I wanted, which was awesome. And I quit the game. I was like, I'm done.
He said, put a fork in me. I am done.
You're done.
That is awesome. Well, you know what, man? I feel better having talked to you, because when I heard your perspective, it sounded misogynistic to me. I was saying, damn, a woman needs to shut up because she can't cook better than me, and she better not talk back, and she better give it up when she's ready to get it up. Because, hey, look, you scared me, brother, but now I got a little more faith in you.
He ain't that bad.
Right. When it comes to that, as far as the SUTF, sometimes what I'm saying is a lot of times women, for the fact like there's a lot of men, and I understand it, that don't do nothing in life, and these women still connect with them men that don't do nothing in life. So they feel, but regardless of that, you still can't tell a man what he can and cannot do. You can't yell at him all the time. He's not your child.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? I agree. But a lot of times they treat them like they're their children, and if you just be quiet, sometimes maybe that man might do right by you. Regardless, because if you're looking out for him, you know what I'm saying? I get it, Tressa. I mean, from a man's point of view, I know a bunch of dog A boys that don't know nothing about being men. And men literally don't grow up. And I mean, it's a small case, but men don't really grow up and be men until they're in their 40s, really.
Right.
A man in his 20s ain't nothing. That's a child.
Oh, dang. Hey, you got a child online here, Jared.
I'm talking about black men. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
That's not mine now. And I found out when she was 10, she wasn't mine. But when I told her recently, I said, man, if I'm actually glad I'm not your father, because when I was in my 20s, I was a deadbeat. I have 3 children now that I love and adore, and they love the death out of me because I'm a grown man, and I figured I was important now.
Right.
When I was 20 years old, I was a drug dealer, and I wasn't nothing.
Right.
I was like a child in these streets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, so, and then as far as my grandmother told us when we were kids about washing dishes, we had a dish week, we had a clothes week, and we made our own food because my grandmother worked. Because I lived with my grandma.
Right.
So, I mean, I know how to cook. So women that always talk about, I can cook and do this and do that for you, that don't mean nothing either. It gotta be a vibe. It gotta be something that makes 2 people want to stay with each other and be around each other for the rest of their lives.
Right. And I completely agree. And that's, I mean, I'm 42. So at this point, if it's not a reciprocal, loving, monogamous relationship, I don't want it. I don't think there's anything wrong with people that want to have different partners or they want to be polyamorous. It's just not for me. And also I'm just not with random sex. I've never been that way. I mean, well, no, I'm sorry. I had a whole phase, and that was a long time ago, like teenagers. But I'm saying now at this point, I just can't do it. So, but we appreciate you for calling in.
Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate it.
Hopefully, when you come to Houston again, we can come and have you as a guest too as well.
Definitely.
All right.
Hey, good talking to you, brother. Take care now.
Black men don't cheat, Jerry. Yeah, they don't cheat.
All right. Thanks, Jerry. All right. Bye-bye.
Well, so interesting perspective. Like I said, I felt better. I felt better after talking to him because he did have a perspective, not misogynistic as it sounded. So sometimes a lot of it is in the way you interpret it, like the delivery.
The tone.
Yeah, it's the tone. And like he said, it was a post from last year, and I commented on the post too, and I didn't take it offensively because I know how he talks. You know, that's his point of view. I didn't take it personal, but I joked with him on the post and was like, "Oh, thank you so much, sir. I was lost before reading this."
Yeah, you know what, Tressa? It's because you can tell somebody like "Happy birthday," but then you can go, "Hey, happy birthday." birthday, man. Yeah. And then, you take it the wrong way.
Tone.
Yeah, same message, just a little different.
It's still a good message altogether.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a good conversation. Yeah. And what happens when a man finds love, he settles into it.
Yeah.
His outlook changes.
He answered all my questions. Like, how are you with a girl now? And how do you feel now?
Right.
Yeah.
And like he answered it. And that's crazy that she was in a 12-year relationship. So he waited like 12 years, kind of.
Well, I completely get that story because what he saw was her virtue, and I'm attracted to that. There are certain women that carry themselves with a certain integrity that but they have the secret person of the heart. They have the freak in them. They are freaky, but they're not going to give that freak to anybody. That's a special gift.
Yes.
So we're gonna have to revisit that conversation at some point again in the very near future. I know Amber is trying to take control of all this relationship conversation, but I love it too much to be out of the mix all the time.
We have to talk about it because it's part of the human.
It is part of the human experience. But we are up against the break at this point. We say goodbye to Tressa.
Yes, you will see me tomorrow. Make sure y'all follow me at Comedian Tressa and then www.tressaellaby.com. But I'll be back tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, we enjoyed this. Thank you for that.
Tressa.
So, folks, don't go anywhere. When we come back, Enrique and I will continue to chop it up here on The Morning Edge. And be sure to stay connected. Share this page. We'll be back in just a moment.
Awesome.
We work our whole lives to support our families. With one accident or illness, it can all be gone in an instant. Now there's a smart, affordable way to protect your family. Go to findhealthbenefits.com and discover low-cost life insurance for as little as $2 per month. Add to that a tax-deferred annuity that can help you protect your assets and grow your money for retirement. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. A critical illness can strike without warning and wipe out your life savings. In fact, it's the #1 reason for bankruptcy. Find Health Benefits offers an affordable solution. Get up to $50,000 if you get cancer, stroke, or a heart attack, giving you the peace of mind to focus on getting better while the plan helps you to pay your bills and medical expenses. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. 66% of seniors spend more time shopping for cable TV than Medicare plans. Most say because it's just too confusing. Laws change every year. The wrong plan could cost you thousands and prevent you from seeing the doctors you
Hello. What's up, my lovely people? You are listening to Edge Radio, where the truth still matters. And I am your co-host, Enrique Chacon, out here representing all of Latin America. And with me, I have the generalist, very intelligent, Hispanic, dark-skinned male, Oscar, aka Costa Rica.
Hispanic, dark-skinned male. You sound like you were describing someone on a picket line. Yes, he was a Hispanic. He was a Hispanic black male, gray hair.
Did he have a weapon? No,
gap.
but he bust the mean salsa dance. He could bust the mean salsa dance.
I now have gotten to the point in life where I think I'm not as intimidating as I used to be. Like I used to have black hair, and I would see women clutch their purse. Now, I smile. They're like, that old guy means no harm.
Yeah, his knees is not the same.
He's probably got some
to.
bursitis in his shoulder,
I always had the opposite experience. Me being 5'7", and I look fairly young with a baby face. Most people either want to give me candy or they want to talk to me about something. Their life stories or anything. So I just listen. Yeah. Sit down and listen. As a 20-year-old, you got to listen to what most your elders are talking about. But coming up now, we're going to talk about the truth of the American crimmigration. And crimmigration is a term that's been used, and it's been used around for like 1, 2, 3 years, and why it's called crimmigration is because you have, of course, the prison system of the United States of America, and it's a business. They're making money out of prisoners, and of course, it's very corporate, very corrupt to anybody of color, and it's a problem. But on the other spectrum of things, you have an ICE detention center, and a detention center is just a different name for prison system.
A detention
center, yeah. So they are still making money out of these immigrants.
How are they making money?
They're making money because you have these immigrants in these prisons, right? And just like a prison in Atlanta or New York, you have guards that are working, and the American tax dollars are used to run these prisons, to pay the guards and to pay anybody who has a certain sharehold into criminal America and the corporations that run America. And I actually have somebody who told me their first-hand experience with a ICE detention center. He's going to be unnamed, somebody very close to me. Okay. And he recently got out of an ICE detention center.
Okay, so to frame this, you have a person that was actually detained.
Yeah, very.
How long were they detained?
Yeah, he was detained in an ICE detention center for 6 months.
Wow. Okay, that's a long time.
Yeah, very long time.
Was he caught somewhere, or was he what happened?
So he was caught at work. He was working at a bar.
So he's already in the States.
Yeah, he was already in the States, right? He had some charges against him. I think it was a speeding charge, and also
that's a misdemeanor.
Yeah, it's a misdemeanor. And also one time, I'm not gonna say he's a saint, but he went into his girlfriend's house and broke her window because he was feeling a type of way. You know how it is sometimes.
Misdemeanor,
Latin passion. You think your girl doesn't love you anymore.
So you throw a rock and break her window.
Throw a rock, and who hasn't done that? Who hasn't done that to their girlfriend?
Who hasn't done that? Who hasn't tried to hit their girlfriend with a brick?
Yeah, who hasn't done that? It's normal. It's American. It's American. The 1950s.
It's American. That's right. Okay. So what happens?
So he's at work, and the ICE. You can say like the ICE agents come in to the establishment, and they're asking for him. Right. At first, you don't know who they are. They're wearing regular clothes, and most of the time you're like, oh, you're looking for the bartender. Oh, he's right there. He's right there. Frank. Oh, you probably know him. You're gonna tip him. And they approach him, and he says hi, and he's like, hey, pull out the badge, we're ICE agents, and we want to take you in for some questioning, right? And when they take you in, you don't know exactly what's going on, right? But you can't run.
So
you're there.
Let me ask you a question, because
sure.
I remembered hearing that if you're in your home and you say you are not authorized to enter my premises and you close the door, they technically cannot touch you.
You may not come in there without a warrant.
Okay, so what about in the place of employment?
So in the place of employment, that rule doesn't apply. It is not your house, and they're already in the establishment. And if they see you and they know you're there and you didn't get a heads up, right? And the restaurant from the get-go doesn't say, hey, we do not allow ICE agents in here, then they can arrest you. They can detain you. There was an example of a student who has no criminal charges or anything, but they know that he got here illegally, and he's at school, and the school actually stops the ICE detention agents from coming inside because this is a learning establishment, and no, we do not allow that to happen in our premises.
Right.
So it became a safe haven for that student. But unfortunately for my friend, he got detained. They put him in the back of the cop car, and I swear we didn't hear about him for about 3 days. We were just wondering, what's wrong? Is he out again? You know, what is he doing? Is he having another 3-day weekend in the middle of the week? You know?
Yeah.
And we finally get the call, and he's detained, and he's talking.
So what was it like in the camps? I mean, what did he say was his experience?
So he told me the first day it was the hardest day. Like, you think you're a man, like you went to your trip, right, to establish like your alpha energy, you know, and to understand, you know, yourself. And he had the same thing, you know. He was the player, the guy that had all the women. He was the guy that could get it done. He's a hustler. He's making his own money. But that first day in the ICE detention center, you're a baby. Break down. You start crying, and you gotta cry in silence, because if anybody else in there hears you, then they're gonna make you, you know, they're gonna talk smack. They're gonna take advantage of you, and it's very community-like. Okay, so first they take your possessions, same old prison thing. You get you get spread out, and they take your clothes, and you're naked, and they hose you down. They hose you down with extremely cold water, and they give you a towel. They give you a suit. Put on your prison suit. Now you're a number. You go into what he calls the aquarium, and what everybody else called it, the aquarium. When you're in the aquarium, you get a bunk bed, right? You don't know who that person under you is, and you don't know like the person next to you.
Is there like gang violence and that kind of stuff inside?
Yeah. So there is violence. He actually, and this is just like skipping forward, he actually had to fight 2-3 people because they were talking crap about his mother, and he felt, because he was into like former gang activity, he felt that if he didn't fight at that moment, then it was going to be an issue, and he was going to get taken advantage of, right?
Yeah.
And that first day in the aquarium, of course, you can get a job, just like any other prison. And you know, it's not the image that you see on TV, especially for males, because this was an all male detention camp. You didn't have children and you didn't have women. It was all just males, and of course, he got a job as a dishwasher. Yeah. And he was making a few cents to buy enough food. And what they have in prison, they don't have cigarettes. They don't have, I guess they don't have any like Cheez-Its or anything sweet. They have.
You said Cheez-Its?
Yeah, Cheez-Its.
By the way, those of you just joining us, we're talking about an ICE center,
ICE detention
immigration center, a detention camp. So you don't have a lot of the normal things. You're fighting for your life potentially.
Ramen noodles, basic potato chips. The potato chips don't really have brands. Yeah. And you have mac and cheese. When you're in that prison, like mac and cheese, it's like the gourmet meal. Like, oh man, I bust my ass, you know,
for some mac and cheese.
Washing dishes for 2 straight weeks for some mac and cheese. Yeah. You can also get your own coffee. But what the problem was is it's just unsanitary.
Oh well, it's difficult. And so what ends up happening to this guy? Does he come back into the States? Is he exported back to his country?
So he's still on the run.
He's on the run.
Yeah. So because he knows if he goes to court, then he is bound to be deported.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has a whole family here.
Wow.
He has children that depend on him. So what can you do?
Yeah.
Put yourself in his shoes.
So he just skipped out of that job, went to another job, and
he's
trying
just
to stay on the lam.
Yeah, so you're not gonna get a job with a regular social now. You're gonna get a blue collar job, and you're gonna get paid money. You're gonna get paid cash, and you're not gonna have HR. You're not going to have workers' comp, and you're not going to have insurance.
Yeah.
So you're bound to clinics. You got to stick with clinics. And while he was in the prison system with the coronavirus and everything going on, it's non-sanitary. And most of those people in the detention camps have corona. And all you have, and this is something else I read in the news, besides his experience, all you have is like a large body wash. And for the longest, the large body wash was what you were rationing out for like 2 weeks in order to wash yourself and wash your hands.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
And actually, he was telling me a disgusting story about when he was in there, how one of his friends actually got horrible hemorrhoids. And he was trying to hide the hemorrhoids from everybody. But I don't know. He said
he was hiding the hemorrhoids. What do you mean hiding the hemorrhoids? Like I would imagine that if you had hemorrhoids, no one would know unless you told them. So unless there was some kind of rectal inspection.
Yeah. A lot of gay activity goes down.
So what do you mean he was hiding? He was trying to. He didn't want people to know. He couldn't sit down straight.
Yeah. He said it was hemorrhoids, but the way he described it, that he had blisters all over his backside. It didn't seem like hemorrhoids.
No. Hemorrhoids are where the anus is pushing sort of outward. But if you have blisters on your buttocks, then that's something different.
Who knows what it was. But he said that the showers were kind of like this. So you're in the ICE detention center. You're gonna take a shower. The guards are there. You're completely naked, right? It's a community shower, right? So it's just like Adam and Eve. You have to get used to everybody else's junk. You have to get used to everybody else and be comfortable.
Yeah, like the gym back in the junior high school.
Yeah, of course they don't do that anymore because a lot of people, when they think community shower, I don't want you to.
So junior high schools don't show the kids aren't. They got private showers now.
We got private showers.
When I was a kid, you just got in there with everybody else.
You know what changed it, Oscar? The hashtag Me Too movement changed it for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah. So the showers are extremely hot. Like the water was about 99 degrees, 98 degrees.
Wow.
Just tough. So what these detained immigrants were doing, they were like completely emptying out like these big trash bins. And they were finding like bags, cleaning the bags, right? And putting the water in the bag and filling up the trash bin and showering that way, like getting cups and stuff. But what happened was somebody caught a fungus.
Oh.
And this is what my brother was seeing. He was seeing this guy's backside. And
so it's a fungus.
It's a fungus outbreak in the cab.
That's nasty.
Yeah,
because
disgusting.
That's highly contagious.
Disgusting. Yes, disgusting. Let alone like the corona that's happening in there. Yeah. And my question for him was like, how did you avoid, getting this fungus if like 50% of the population in the aquarium had it? And
wow.
He said he would get like a cup, like a big thick a wide cup, like a soup bowl, and he would just wait and just wash his main areas because the water was boiling hot. And because he was working the kitchen, he was able to like steal some cleaning supplies for himself.
Wow.
Because it's a community.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's like you ever see Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah. Sure.
And you see that one scene where the guy, he's getting beat up by the transvestites in the, I guess like in the back room where they have all the baking supplies.
Right.
Yeah, so he would do stuff like that. Yeah. It's a little true, like Hollywood magic. It's a little true.
Yeah.
He would go out to the back and he would steal like soaps.
Yeah.
And dishwasher and like clean the toilet bowl himself. You know?
man, that's horrific. And you know, this idea that if you think about it, somebody who's already living in this country, who has a family, and then all of a sudden you have essentially police like Gestapo that come in, arrest them, and deport them back to a country they don't even know.
He doesn't know.
Don't even know.
Nobody there. He doesn't know. He doesn't have any connection.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, you know, the thing to do, especially since these people have served in the military, they have also paid taxes over a number of years, contribute like everyone else. And I think you're talking about, what, 700,000-800,000 people.
Right.
But you simply pass legislation to accept them in. If you're going to then make it difficult at the borders for other people, okay, well, they go through the process. Right. You know, when we came to this country, it was, I don't think it was difficult for my parents. I didn't know. It was in the 60s. But we all got our passports. My mother insisted that all of us would have to have our passports, get our alien registration cards, so that when we came, we could not be sent back unless we chose to be, which was very wise on the part of my parents.
Yeah, it was.
Now, of course, immigration laws were significantly different in the 60s.
Changed completely
but now it's a mess.
Yeah, changed completely. And what I'm getting at and what I'm telling you is detention story, and just to bring awareness to the fact that, hey, like I know prisons are bad, right? And I know that a high percentage of people who have coronavirus in those prisons is very high as well, you know. But also in these detention camps, you know, I guess they're breaking like the humane level of needs that like a regular human needs, you know, just to be in a community space for 6 months, like. You're not meeting the right requirements. It's not like they're not animals, you know. They're not animals. The
unfortunate fact is that I think people lose perspective of the value of other people,
right?
Because anytime you start to dehumanize any group of people, you're in dangerous territory.
Right.
That's what the Nazi concentration camps were all about.
That's what I was thinking.
Once there's a dehumanization, then all of a sudden you have carte blanche to do whatever you want to a group of people, and no one seems to care. But then all of a sudden, you know, you see an animal trapped or something, and then everybody rallies around that. And so it's a little distorted like in that regard. You know, there's, but I think in the overall scheme of things, it's going to require some major legislation changes. But just like in the African American community, the Latino communities have to recognize that they are also disenfranchised in many respects, and they're going to have to take political steps like everyone else has done. And if that doesn't happen, then they'll continue to be injustices.
Inhumane.
So we're going to be ending a little bit early today. This has been a great conversation. You know, I think bringing awareness to some of these issues that are outside of our purview because of the big looming issues that are in front of us. These things didn't go away. They're still very much a big part of the American conversation right now. We want to bring awareness and certainly continue to look forward to that. I'm going to invite a couple of immigration attorneys in the future so we could talk about what
that'd be
options.
Very, very interesting.
Absolutely.
Especially.
What options are available? What options are available, and how do we get to a place where we can have mutual understanding?
Right.
So Enrique Chacon, it has been a joy and a pleasure, my brother. How do folks get connected?
A pleasure for me as well, Oscar. And you can find me at EnriqueChaconComedy.com or my Instagram, Rico Shea Sean, and just go to my website. You'll be able to see all of that and what I post and any upcoming shows that I might have in Houston. Yeah.
Cool beans. I love it. So, man, enjoy talking to you. We'll be back tomorrow with the Morning Edge. We have comedians that come in and spread joy, sunshine, and a lot of sarcasm.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
So, folks, thank you for joining us. We're going to be back in just a short while. Yeah. We are going to be talking to a amazing lady who I think you'll be quite interested in her story. It'll be at 11 a.m. here on the Natural Nation Network, which we will switch over to a little bit later. And I'm looking forward to it. So thank you for joining us. We appreciate you and want to enjoy the rest of this amazing day. And hope we don't flood out today. Right. Okay, folks, you're listening to 1540 AM, 101.7 FM, Edge Radio Network. We will see you again shortly.
Been feeling a little edgy lately? Listen to Edge Radio. That'll push you over the top. 1540 AM and 101.7 FM. Edge Radio.
America, your children have an amazing superpower. They can help save lives by not having play dates. That's right. By replacing get-togethers with virtual play dates and video chats, they can help slow the evil spread of germs. And if your superheroes do go outside, make sure they continue their superhero wing by staying 6 feet away from others to protect everyone in America land. Find out more at coronavirus.gov. A message from the CDC and the Ad Council.
Are you tired of hurting? Is there something you would like to do that you can no longer do without pain? This is Dr. Arango with Arango Chiropractic Clinic. It might be time for you to try chiropractic. Chiropractic emphasizes that the way the body is structured is highly related to the way it functions. Spinal misalignment can cause pain, decreased range of motion, and organ dysfunction. Spinal dysfunction can originate from car accidents, work accidents, and other types of trauma. They can also come from improper chronic postures and repetitive motions such as sitting at a computer or daily chores. Doctors of chiropractic use manipulations to the spine and most other joints to restore proper function and decrease pain. For more information, visit us at HoustonChiroClinic.org or call us at 713-868-6166.
Injured on the job? For the past 3 decades, Arango Chiropractic Clinic has been treating patients who have been injured on the job, in automobiles, while playing sports, or at home. As a result, the clinic has expert personnel who can help you with your workers' compensation or automobile claim to ensure that you receive the best health care and benefits. We welcome and offer same-day service to most workers' compensation and personal injury cases, and honor many other insurance plans. To find out if yours is among them, simply give us a call at 713-868-6166, and we'll be happy to check for you. If your insurance plan doesn't cover chiropractic care, or if you're not presently insured, we offer other payment options that will make seeking treatment easy. Call us for the health of it at 713-868-6166, or for more information, visit us at HoustonChiroClinic.com. 713-868-6166.
1540 AM and 101.7 FM Houston, Pasadena, Clear Lake, Gal. 1540 AM and 101.7 FM. Edge Radio.
This is Dr. Arango with Arango Chiropractic Clinic to remind you that the knees take a lot of stress in everyday effort. And there are a few simple things that you can do to protect them. Avoid walking in unstable ground, wear proper shoes, lose weight, use ice instead of heat, and avoid daily activities which exacerbate the pain such as jogging or climbing stairs. Low or no impact exercises such as swimming and bicycle riding are good for these weight-bearing joints. Physical therapy modalities such as ultrasound and interferential muscle stimulation can also help in the restoration of normal joint function. But most important is the joint manipulation performed by a doctor of chiropractic, which restores the normal joint motion that no other medication, rehabilitation, or therapy can achieve. Regular chiropractic care can restore normal joint function and can also prevent injuries. For the health of it, visit us at 1302 North Shepherd. For an appointment, call us at 713-868-6166.
Contact us at 713-868-6166, or for more information, visit our website at HoustonChiroClinic.com. 713-868-6166.
Are you ready to be pushed over the edge? Edge Radio, coming soon to 1540 AM and 101.7 FM Houston, Pasadena, Clear Lake, Galveston.
This is KGBC, Galveston, Houston, 1540 AM, and K269GS, Pasadena, 101.7 FM.
Been feeling a little edgy lately? Listen to Edge Radio. That'll push you over the top. 1540 AM and 101.7 FM.
Has it been too long since you and your partner truly enjoyed each other intimately? Hi, I'm Dr. Viviana Coles, and I believe emotional and physical intimacy go hand in hand. At Houston Relationship Therapy, we help couples and individuals work through the many challenges faced while in relationships. Our experienced and dedicated relationship therapists can help get emotional and physical connection back into your relationship. Call 713-542-2221 or book online at HoustonRelationshipTherapy.com. Schedule your appointment today and rediscover intimacy now at Houston Relationship Therapy.
Business owners, thought leaders, when you're ready to connect with new customers, your radio station has the edge you need to succeed. Call 281-744-0446. For more information, call 281-744-0446.
Different techniques of healing are available under the professional care of a licensed doctor of chiropractic's trained hands. Everyone's body is different, and maintaining health and vitality requires individual attention and expert examination. Come by for an individual consultation and physical evaluation. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, visit Arango Chiropractic Clinic at 1302 North Shepherd and have the health experience of your life. For an appointment, call us at 713-868-6166. That's 713-868-6166.
1540 AM and 101.7 FM Houston, Pasadena, Clear Lake, Galveston.
Our business is helping your business from Galveston to Houston and beyond. 1540 KGBC.
Well, give us a call. 281-744-0446. 281-744-0446. 1540 AM and 101.7 FM. Edge Radio.